Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy and this is a 2018 Ford Explorer with a little bit of squeak noise coming from the engine compartment. Customer states it's only audible when you first start it up. After it heats up, it goes away. Let's jump in this thing, take it for a test drive, see if we can't recreate that sound. I'm gonna go around the block. As I mentioned, this is a 3.5 liter V6. And down in there is our serpentine belt. Oh, I see something. That's pretty cool. Look at the belt tracking there on the bottom side as the serpentine belt comes back this way. And watch it. Watch for the light. You see the solid belt, but you'll see something looks peculiar. Did you guess it? That's right. The camera caught it. There's a light exposed in the middle of the belt. I believe the belt has a split in the middle somewhere along its path. So let's get that belt off of there, and then we'll start looking at this tensioner and the other front accessories. It's always fun making the noises. Or a I don't know. It's making some kind of noise coming from the engine compartment. The customer thinks it's a belt tensioner and or the serpentine belt. Let's get in it, take it for a test drive, see if we can't recreate that sound. I broke the bank and I actually bought a Lisle brand ratcheting belt tensioner removal tool. I never had one of these and I always said I was going to make one, just a flat bar. But this is a ratcheting one. Comes with all the different bits and a little extension bar to offset it. I think we can get it with this guy just the way it is with the hex bit inserted. Made in USA. Lisle brand tools. Oh yeah. You guys remember the belt path. It comes up over the alternator and then it goes underneath the belt tensioner, which the belt tensioner is right there. We do have limited clearance in between the frame rail and the belt tensioner, so it's probably a good thing we bought the new tool, but you could probably get away without having the tool. I think I'd probably grab that top tab with a wrench or a crescent wrench in this application. It's like, oh, there she is. Stopped right at the split spot. A multi-piece belt. Let's get that thing off of there. I don't think I can do it with you in there, but basically it comes up over the top of the alternator, under the idler, then back to the main crankshaft, and I think the AC unit is directly underneath. So around the AC, around the alternator, under the idler, and around the crank. There's your problem. Multi-piece belt. Twice the power, right? Alright. As a preemptive strike, I went ahead and purchased the new belt tensioner. There's a part number if you need it. It's a Motorcraft brand, and then also a brand new replacement belt. Here's the new belt tensioner, and I don't know that there's anything wrong with this, but we're going to go ahead and install it since we have it. I believe that's what the customer was requesting, so we'll put that on there along with our new belt. Looks like we just got 3 bolts. I think one of the harder parts of this job is that tensioner. We can't get a wrench in there, or at least one comfortably, so we're going to have to use just a traditional wrench to get it out. Shouldn't be too difficult. Nice thing is we preheated the, oh my gosh, bolts come out super easy, at least the first one. Oh yeah, it's a nice thing about working on new stuff. No rust in there. I mean, it's all aluminum, but the bolts come out nice. All right, so the one towards the back of the engine is kind of hard to reach. So all we got is this bolt right here. I can see it, I can feel it. I'm almost confident we can get it from up here. I really just don't want to take that inner fender out. Okay. So I dropped the wrench and it did not hit the ground. Where did it go? Wrench. Come here, wrench. It is somewhere. I don't really know where it would go. Don't know. Come on. Oh, I see it. It's way back on part of the subframe, just sitting up there. Can redo that if you wanted. Okay. Again. Keeps not hitting the ground. Same spot. I guess you can do that if you try. Okay. Makes sense. The one that's hardest to reach is the tightest. Okay. Alright, now we're cooking with gasoline here. And 3 times she fell down in that hole. That's super convenient. Okay. Okay, so the last bolt went into the fender well somewhere, along with my wrench. Ta-da! We got her. Got the old unit out. Obviously you saw us drop it and pull it out the bottom. I think that's probably the easier way to get it out anyways. But I'm not really... Surface of the idler pulley is worn a little, and I think possibly that was caused by the split belt running for a while or a damaged section in that belt. Other than that, I don't really see, and damage is lightly because, I mean, you can just see kind of a line there where it was wearing on 2 different surfaces, and that might have been creating your squeak. I don't really see anything wrong with this. Seems pretty stout, almost just like the new one. No bearing noise. A little bit of surface irregularities because of the broken belt, I think. I mean, there could be some rust and fretting coming out of the bearing in there, and all I can see is a color, but I don't feel anything. Look down in underneath the washer and the pulley. You can see a little bit of red, rusty colored discoloration. Could be fretting from the bearing, but it doesn't feel like it's bad. Anyways, we got a new one, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, got nestled up in there real easy. I like to use Vibratite gel. I do use Loctite as well. They have a gel product, but I prefer this pump. Just a little boop, and you're good to go. It doesn't roll off and run all over like traditional liquid Loctite. Lift and insert bolt. Got to be smarter than the idler, so it will come in from the top, but I got it hooked with some tie wraps, and I can hold it or drop it. I can hold it up here without getting my big paws in the way and put the screw in. So that's what we're going to do here. Now you can get it close to where it needs to go and get your other big paw in there and start one of the bolts. Alright, what you'll do is get the wrench on those and snug those up, much like the loosening process. Get our lift support out of there, and yeah, we're good to go. So the hardest part of this job is the cylinder head is still warm from our test drive. I'm not going to say it's hot, but man, doesn't feel so good against your palm of your hand in there. Now all we have to do is get this new belt back on. This is the one we purchased, Gates Micro V. There's a part number if you need it. Hopefully this is the same length. We'll do a real quick test in comparison to the old belt. Oh yeah, right on the money. This one's obviously turned into a two-piece belt, and it is no good anymore. Let's get this new one in there. Hopefully it should go relatively easy. Should. I think we'll bring it up from the bottom. I just don't understand. Well, since it's not gone my way today, I don't understand why this is so difficult. It's like the belt is too short, and it just does not want to go where I want it to go. When you get the belt where it's supposed to be, I move the idler way out to reduce maximum tension, and I can't get it over top of the alternator. I feel like maybe the idler is just too close up here to the alternator and the main crank. So we're getting really sketchy here, and we got our helping hands, the old tie wrap on the hood support, pulling back our belt tensioner. As long as that doesn't slingshot off of there, should be good. I'm going to go underneath and try to get it on the air conditioner pulley. It's on. Oh. We did it. And it took this plastic handled tapered chip brush. That way we didn't damage the belt. But I have never, ever installed a serpentine belt that was that tight. I'm kind of wondering if it was just a shade too short, and or, man, it's a really bad design. Something doesn't seem right. I should be able to pull that tensioner and just slide it right on there. But here we are. It's on there. I made the mistake of saying this would be a real quick and easy job. You can do it without removing the inner fender well. I hate removing inner fender wells and kind of leave that as a last resort. Aside from dropping the wrenches a few times, it still should have been easy. The belt that was excessively tight, I don't know if that's by design or if there's something wrong, i.e. the belt was a little bit too short and or the idler pulley was a little bit too big. Shouldn't have went on that hard. Should have been able to just slide it right on there with it completely open with our special tool. Special tool worked great. Let's fire this thing up and see. Let's just see if it's going to smoke, squeal, whine, or grind something up. All right, no burning smell, no whining. So far, no squeaking. We're gonna give it the real test when we let it sit overnight, let it cool off, and we'll be able to tell if we completely eliminated that squeak noise for our customer. I think we're gonna be good to go. It's probably only that split belt doing some weird things. Nothing sounds out of the ordinary. Everything sounds pretty darn good. All it took was a new tensioner, which I don't think was really bad, but the customer asked us to replace it, and we put a new one on. The real problem here is just the serpentine belt, which I really don't know why the Ford service garage didn't notice this. This is one of the first things I noticed when looking at the belt. Yeah, you probably could have got away with a simple belt replacement. Yeah. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button your way out. Thanks for watching, everyone.